What's going on, everybody? It's Leo here. Welcome to the weekly market update and power up. It is November 30th. It is the last day of the month, and we're stepping into December. I hope everybody had an amazing Thanksgiving weekend and that you really got present to everything that you're grateful for. And if you don't remember what you're grateful for, just I'm just gonna give you a quick reminder. If you got the ability to see, if you got the ability to hear, if you got the ability to taste and have food in your stomach, have a roof. I mean, there's just so many things if you really start to pay attention. And if you want to boil it down to just the simplest thing, if you have the ability to be alive right now and healthy, it's such a blessing. So, just want to remind you of what it is and why it's so important to get present to gratitude. And I know Thanksgiving really brings that out of us. And I really encourage you to bring that gratitude forth every single day of your life, because if you really get present to what you're grateful for every single day, it's going to give you the juice. It's going to give you the substance. It's going to give you everything you desire in the now, because everything else outside of you is just a cherry on top. Just being alive is an amazing, already, accomplishment. And the fact that you have the ability to think with your own brain and have the ability to make choices, it's just an outstanding, way of, just remembering to be grateful, because it really is a lot to be grateful for. So the first slide that I want to get into is the intention. So the intention is to empower you to be inspired and resourceful to be the greatest benefit to everyone. The intention for this meeting is the same every single week. And the reason it is because it's success is repetitious. Success is doing the same things over a sustained period of time. And success is not really like doing something once in a while. It's a choice that you do every single day. So therefore, the talk that I prepared for you today, it's on improvement. It's something that you choose every day, right? Improvement is something that you choose every single day. Now, why do I say that? Well, improvement is definitely something that we choose every single day because hold on, let me go ahead and exit the screen. That way you guys can see full screen. So improvement is something that you choose every single day. It goes back to what I was just talking about with the intention, is that, this meeting, for example, I don't know how many of you are going to be showing up. I don't know how many of you are actually going to be watching it, but I made it a choice that I was going to be bringing forth this value on a weekly basis, no matter how many people showed up. And there's a lot of you that do show up. There's a lot of you that do watch it, and it's irrelevant if you do or not, because I gave myself my word that I will be showing up for myself. And that's really what I want to hone in on today, is that success, it's not just doing the things when people are watching and people are, giving you a little, hey, you should do it. Success is all the stuff that you do behind the scenes that no one sees. Success is waking up in the morning and getting yourself ready, getting yourself prepared, and going and doing the activities that that nobody else is watching. Like nobody is right there behind you all day saying like, hey, did you do your calls? Hey, did you do the appointments? Hey, did you take enough actions today? Hey, did you work on your goals? Did you work on your dreams? Did you work on your grandest vision? Nobody knows that but yourself, because your vision is within your brain and within your heart. So the invisible work that you're going to be doing every single day, every single moment, is a choice. And that choice is either going to get you closer and closer to your goals, or it's going to get you just basically where you are, right? And I don't want to create any sort of judgment here either, because if you don't want to grow, if your intention is to, be exactly where you are and you are content, then that's perfectly fine, because the definition of success is very different from the definition of success to me. Success for me is improving myself every single day more and more and more. And it's only because I want to see what the limit is for myself, right? Like right now I am on a like constant, daily activity of doing stairs and pushing myself, to the fullest. I actually just had an opportunity to go to Mount Baldy. I did 31,000 steps over 15 miles, and it was freezing cold. It was windy. Like the hike itself, it was like, like the terrain was pretty it was pretty off the charts. I mean, there was like some little pathways that were like this wide, so you could see to the side. I'm like, man, if you slip, you would totally fall. So the terrain was crazy. There was a bunch of incline. So just with the terrain and the incline and the distance, that enough was already challenging. But if you combine that with cold, which cold is like something that we experience, but if you combine that with wind, the wind, oh my God, the wind was insane. Like I literally, like if I had to put on my mask and I put on a hoodie, because the moment that I took it off, my face would freeze, and if I didn't have gloves, my fingers, like the moment that I took it off to like check my phone, my hands would freeze. Like like they would get numb. That's how fast it would happen. I was even getting shocks. Like when I would touch stuff, I would get shocks because of like how crazy cold it was. So anyways, I accomplished that, right? I finished that. But about 80% of the mountain, I basically started to question if I really wanted to do this thing. I was like, man, you know what? One of my friends was like, you know what, dude, like my legs are giving out. I don't feel good. And he actually had sprinted a good amount of the mountain. And I knew that it was going to be a long distance. So I decided to conserve my energy. I'm like, I'm not going to go ahead and run. Like, I know this is going to be a long trip. I mean, it took us almost 10 hours out there. So when we got to about 80% of the mountain, he just said, you know what, I'm going to listen to my body. I can't go up anymore. And, my legs hurt, and I'm just going to go ahead and go back. You guys just go ahead and go forward without me. And at that time, I basically started to question my pain. And I was like, oh my God, I feel like crap. My legs are hurting. My face is freezing. Like, what the hell am I doing here? I could be at home warm. I could be in bed with the warm blanket. I could be drinking like, some hot coffee. I could be eating some good food. Like, what am I doing here? Right. And, I went onto this chatter, but I'm like, you know what? I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to continue to go in the mountain. Like, I didn't come here to not finish this thing. You know what I mean? And this was the first time that I did it. So I just compared it to myself and my success. Like, I have big dreams and big goals, and I want to accomplish them to the fullest. Like, I really want, like, when I say I want to do something, I'm going to do it. And I said, well, what if I get to about 80% of my goal next year with my real estate business? And, I start experiencing some turbulence. I mean, it's not going to be wins, but it's going to be something else, right? Life is unpredictable like that. So in that something else is where the magic is at. Like, I either could choose to stop and be content. I mean, 80% of that mountain is still good, right? 80% of my goals is still outstanding. But is it going to be what I gave my word to? What I gave my word that it was going to be success, like the defined success for me, right? So I just said, you know what? This mountain means the block to my next evolution of myself and my business. So I'm going to continue to push forward, right? So it would have been easy to stop there and still came back and gave a great story about how awesome that mountain is. But this is the caveat. I wouldn't be satisfied within myself, because I knew within myself that if I didn't do the mountain, that if I didn't finish it, I wouldn't hear the end of it in myself. Like, because I'm pretty, like, I'm always pushing myself to the next level. So if I hadn't done it, I wouldn't be in, like, the chatter in my brain would have been like, dude, you didn't do it. You didn't finish it, blah, 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 blah. So going back to the main subject of what I'm talking about today is improvement. It's something you choose every single day, especially when people are not looking, especially when when people think even like you're justified to stop. Like, no, dude, you already did enough, right? But what is enough? We have no limits. I started to recently reread the book Can't Hurt Me with David Goggins. And I start to like look at myself and what David Goggins went through in his life and the challenges that he went through. I didn't go through anything compared to with the stuff that he's been through, right? So I started to also pay attention, like Wim Hof, climbed Mount Everest in shorts and no shoes. I'm like, I'm complaining about the cold in my face. I'm like, these two guys literally like crushed, just like this little mountain that I'm climbing right now. So you got to psych yourself out. Like I talk to myself a lot, and I know you do too. Even if you're not aware that you talk to yourself, you're constantly talking to yourself, and you're either talking to yourself to talk yourself out of things, or you're talking to yourself into things. So what you got to condition yourself is to be your cheerleader and play devil's advocate. And yes, listen to the limitations, but also create like the possibilities, right? The thing is that most of the time we choose the limitations because it's comfortable. It's really comfortable. Our ego is not interested in improvement. Our ego is interested in comfort and being in a warm, cozy bed and, eating some good food and just being at home. The ego wants comfort. But the thing is that the greatest thing is that when you start to push yourself to improvement, you get way more comfort as well, right? But the thing is that you want to continuously improve because you will get to the point. Like, this is what I want to tell you too. Success is not going to be, it's not going to be an event. It's not going to be like, we think that we're going to get to that destination. And that's when I'm going to feel everything I ever desired. I'm going to feel excited. I'm going to feel grateful. I'm going to feel inspired. Everybody's going to look up to me, right? We think it's an event. It's a one-time thing, but it's not. Success is something that's due every single day. Success is a way of life. Improvement is a way of life. So what do you want to choose for yourself? And I'm really asking you this question, whether you're listening to this live or you're listening to this recording, what is it that you're choosing in yourself? Are you choosing improvement every single day? And if you're not, it's okay. But just understand that you are making the decision and that you're not making the decision based on what other people think or what, your ego is telling you to do. It's something you're authentically authoring because your soul says, you know what, this is the best choice for me. I'm cool. I want to chill. And that's fine. If you're making that choice from that stand and you could be quiet in here and not live in regret, then by all means, chill out. But for me, I choose to improve myself every single day. One of the things that I'm doing every single day is also the stairs. Next day after I came back from the mountain, I was on those stairs, doing cardio again. And you think your body would be like, oh my God, so bent out of shape. I would be sore. My body was fine, right? So what are you doing and what haven't you done because you think that the outcome is going to be super like negative? I'm just encouraging you to look like you're living most of the time inside of a bubble. So I'm encouraging you to step outside of it because what you think that is outside of that bubble, it really isn't true, right? I would have thought that I would have been sore everybody kept telling me, dude, you're going to be sore for an entire week. Like you're not going to be able to get up tomorrow. And honestly, when I came back from that trip, I felt like crap. Every single thing hurt. Like my ankles hurt, my knees hurt, my legs hurt, my head hurt. I felt weak, but guess what? I ate some really good food. I came back home. I went to sleep. I slept a lot. I woke up the next day and I'm like, wait a minute. I feel good. I feel really good. Like I don't have any more pain. The body is so magical if you just give it what it needs, right? I gave it some good nutrients. I gave it some water and I gave it some rest, right? So improvement, it's something that you choose every single day. Are you going to choose that or not? And if you don't, it's cool. Let me go ahead and go back to the screen. That'll be it for the conversation about improvement. Thank you so much for listening. And I hope, actually not hope, I intend that it made an impact, that it made a difference, that it inspired you, that it opened up something within yourself that you say, you know what, maybe I could do a little bit more. Maybe not. Maybe you're like, you know what, man, I'm cool the way I am. And that's fine. If that's what you got out of this thing, that's okay. So the weekly market update, let's look at what happened in real estate in the last week, 7 days in the 5 counties. So we got LA, San Bernardino, Orange County, Riverside, and San Diego. So I'm going to look at the closed sales specifically. In LA, we got 1,000 homes that sold and 1,076,000 is the average price, 27 days in the market. Average, I mean, not average, but the volume that closed is 1,093,000,093 in 1 week, 7 days. Now we got Orange County, 471 homes, 1,045,000 average price, 28 days on the market, average $492 million in Orange County for 1 week. San Bernardino, we got 463 homes, $462,000 is the average price, 22 days on the market, 194 million was the volume that closed. Now we got Riverside County, 585 homes, 516,000 is the average price, 30 days on the market, it's average days on the market. And we got 301 million closed in 7 days in Riverside. Now, last but not least, San Diego, we got 439 homes closed, 893,000. I added an additional 3. It kind of threw me off. Average price is 893,000. 20 days on the market is average days, and 392 million in San Diego. So this is the last week of November, guys. And what's the narrative? You know, holidays, nobody wants to buy or sell. No, 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 no. Yes, we do have about a billion, 1 billion less from last week. But guess what? 2.4 billion still closed in 1 week, in 7 days. And we got 2,584 homes sold. So is it possible for you to sell one house a month? Absolutely. Is it possible for you to sell one house a week? Absolutely. Is it possible for you to sell one house a day? Absolutely. Is it possible for you to sell one house an hour? Damn, I haven't even thought about that. I just started thinking about it right now, but absolutely, right? There's a lot of homes that sold. So I'm just, wherever you are on the scale, just choose what it is you want, but don't feed into the story that there's not enough business because of the holidays, because of COVID, because of this, because of that, because of this, because of that. Every single day, there's people that are making moves, and it's up to you to capture that business or not, right? Because if somebody else will. So let's look at what happened with expireds. 355 homes expired off market last week. So that means that 355 homeowners need your assistance. Even though the market is outstandingly good, that means that 355 families did not sell, right? They missed the mark. They missed the price. They were misrepresented. Something happened. 355 homeowners need your help. So go ahead and reach out to them. Use websites like Land Voice, like Vulcan, 7, right? There's RedX. There's many resources out there that will tell you which properties expired. Or if you can't afford any of those, use the MLS, download the expireds from last week, extract the addresses that are most local to you, and go and deliver something of value to their doors. Deliver a little note that says, hey, notice your home expired. Are you still in the market to sell? I could sell it within 7 days guaranteed. Call me, right? Something like that. I gave you specifically a script that can get you appointments. That's something you want to do. So foreclosures, we got 295 foreclosures on pre-foreclosure in San Diego. We got 336 in Orange County, 1,076 in LA, 298 in San Bernardino, and 361 in Riverside. And this is the total of pre-foreclosures, right? This is not just going to auction. These are just filed in pre-foreclosure. So what's still scheduled to sell after like the whole month? The numbers you've been seeing, they've been decreasing, week over week. San Diego, we still had 10 scheduled, 27 in Orange County, 91 in LA, 12 in San Bernardino, and 9 in Riverside. So these are the current numbers for foreclosures. Right now, we have no indicator that there's a lot of foreclosures coming. But keep this in mind, guys, because this is something that was brought to my attention. A lot of banks right now are working with people, and they're not even reporting themselves as pre-foreclosures, because when the bank is working with these homeowners, they're not reporting these numbers as pre-foreclosures. So what does that mean? That once these forbearances are done and the bank said, you know what, we're not doing this anymore, that means that these foreclosure numbers are going to grow. So if these foreclosure numbers grow, that means that there's going to be a lot of more homeowners that are going to be in trouble. And that means that the market is going to be flooded with inventory. And that means that the market might shift, right? More inventory means more opportunities. And real estate is all predicated on supply and demand. So if there's more supply and the same demand, that means that people are going to be able to get better deals. So regardless of what you think about if the market's going to go up or down, if you're thinking about doing something, right now is the time you should be making that move. Get off the fence, sell or buy, do whatever you got to do. Make sure you're conservative, but pay attention to these numbers, because I think that these numbers are going to increase based on the forbearances and the amount of people that are out of work. So God forbid that, I don't want people to go through this stuff. I mean, I went through foreclosure a couple times, and it's not a fun thing, right? So empower these homeowners. I mean, there's websites like propertyradar.com where you can get all this data. You can get their contact information, reach out to them, see if you can help out these homeowners to get themselves out of trouble, because right now they still, most of them have equity, even though they're behind on their payments. So the best strategy for them is to sell their property. So get out there, inspire somebody, make a difference. So EXP World Holdings, $51.05 is what our stock is as of today. We got over 38,000 agents nationwide. I don't know why I put a 3 right next to nationwide. And we got 5,004 agents in California. So congratulations, California. We made it. We're over 5,000 agents. That's awesome. I've been waiting to say that for weeks. Now we're finally at 5,000 agents. And our stock is up by $3 from last week. We even hit $55 a couple of days ago. So our stock is on fire. You know, our company's on fire. It's the biggest thing in the industry because we're making our agents owners. Where do you know any other company that are making their agents owners? Nowhere else but EXP. Super proud to say that. Interest rates are still good. This is another predicator of what's going on in the industry with the market. You know, this is what we got to pay attention to right now. It's still good. We still got interest rates between 2.5, 3.5%, still good. Obviously, talk to your lender, see what you could do to get qualified. But, you know, what you got to pay attention to on a monthly basis is what is your monthly liability, right? Whether you're renting or you're buying, what are you paying on a monthly basis? If you could buy right now and your payment is the same or less or a little bit more than what you're paying for rent, makes more sense to buy. Why? Because you got tax advantages, you got your own house, you don't got to worry about painting the walls and, you know, fixing up the lawn, and if you know, if you don't own it, it doesn't matter, right? There's nothing like ownership. So use your living calendar. Text calendar to 949-799-4885. Actually, this is my living calendar. So if you want to get on my calendar, if you want some of my time, if you're looking for coaching, training, development, getting yourself to the next level, you want to learn about EXP, use this calendar. It'll automatically be text back to you, and you can get on my calendar and I can show up on a Zoom or on a meeting or on a call, whatever the best strategy is for you. The upcoming events, we have breath work at 10 o'clock this morning as well. We got role play from 8:30 to 9:15, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And we also have sales training Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday from 10 to 12. And agent attraction, we got 12 o'clock. All of these events, the role play, sales training, agent attraction, are being done in our Anaheim location. So if you want to come and experience it live, I will be there teaching these classes. Actually, my partner will be teaching the sales training and role play, but the agent attraction class I will be leading, and I will be leading the introduction to EXP at 10 o'clock on Friday. So if you have any friends or if you want a refresher of what EXP is all about, come and learn about it at 10 o'clock on Friday. So what will you create? Get really specific here. You know, what is it that you're going to use your words, the most powerful tool that you have to create? How many listings are you going to sign? How many open escrows? How many closings? How many agents are you going to refer to EXP, right? Get really specific on this number and create the number from nothing. Like, really, it doesn't matter what you've done, what happened, blah, 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 what happened last week, what the market's doing. Again, cut out all the noise and make the goals from what's possible in yourself, in your heart, something that you know what, I can do that. I can definitely do that, right? So who I am is the possibility of being present and joyful. I didn't change it from last week because I liked being present and joyful. We're still in the holiday season, so I'm going to be joyful and present, because the greatest present, the gift that you can give to somebody is your presence, right? And it's being present with them in the now, in this moment, in this space that we call life. Because when you're in here and you're not out here in the world with people, you're not really listening, you're not really being present. You're in here watching a movie of your thoughts and your feelings and your emotions, right? Sometimes all you got to do is take a deep breath, because that'll get you connected to the moment. So your focus is to create your day. Make sure you plan out your day, plan out your week, plan out your every hour. Because if you want to be the CEO of your business, then you want to make sure that you're doing activities that are getting you closer to your future. If you don't have activities every single day that is chipping away at your dreams and goals, you're wasting your time. The worst thing that you're going to be able to do is get to 10, 20, 30 years in the business and still working on what you should have worked on from day number one. Don't be that agent, right? And if you are that agent, no judgment. It happens, right? It happens, but don't let any more days go without making a difference in what it is that you want to create. Because cut all the stories. Like right now is your time. It's game time. It's time to increase the conversations. It's time to have, more presence on social media, to master your systems like KV Core, and, really just have fun with this business too. Have fun when you speak to other people, and understand that you are specifically in front of somebody for a big purpose, right? Think about this. There's 7 billion people on this planet. And whatever people you talk to on a daily basis, I mean, they're there for a big reason. And your job is to find out what that reason is. Somebody in your life every day is there to teach you something about yourself, because everybody in your life, your family, your friends, your colleagues, they're all mirrors for you to develop yourself. You could look at it like that, or you could look at it like there's nothing there, right? But again, think about 7 billion and you're around a group of people. There's a big reason why that's happening. You could have been in China. You could have been in, in Australia somewhere. I mean, you could have been in Mexico. You could have been in New York. You could have been, in the Philippines. Who knows? But you're here in the US or wherever you're listening to this, and you have a group of people around you. And the biggest way to change your environment is to change that, change the people, change the influences, like everything that you're telling yourself on a daily basis. Your environment is a big deal, and it's really important on why your life is the way it is. So exercise, talked about this: push-ups, jumping jacks, sit-ups, meditate, stretch, do things that are going to take care of yourself, because the greatest investment is yourself, right? There's nothing else more important than your health and well-being. Your health and well-being. If you're not healthy in here, and if your body's not healthy, I don't care how great your vision is or how exciting your opportunity is, it doesn't matter. Pay attention to your health, because why are people that are worried about COVID and all this other stuff, they're not taking care of their health, right? So be the person that's being proactive about their health, because it doesn't matter. You can have a great opportunity. You can have a great company. You can have a lot of money. It doesn't matter. If you don't have health, it doesn't matter. And let's just say you have the health, but you don't have the well-being. Like you don't have the peace, the inner love. That's because you didn't come to this earth to just come here and just follow a cycle that was already laid out for you. Think about that. Right? You could look at your parents, and you could look at the people around you, and you could look that they're following a cycle that was taught to them prior to them getting here. They're living a life. They're going to work. They're retiring. They're traveling, and then they're dying, right? I know that you didn't come here just to follow that blueprint, right? I sure didn't. I did not just come here just to follow what everybody else is doing. I came here to experience and to learn and to understand myself at a deeper level. So read, invest in yourself, go to seminars, do something that's going to push you outside of the little program that you call your life, right? So meditation is a good way to do that, because then you can take control of your thoughts a little bit, or your mind, because if you are not directing your mind, guess what? Your mind is directing you. And that means that the movie and the program is directing you. So who you are is beyond this movie that you call life, right? that's a whole like subject. So I think I'm gonna end it right there. Thank you so much for your time. Let's create an extraordinary week. And for those of you that are going to be joining us at Breathwork this morning, I will see you there for Flow Monday. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll talk to you later.